Oh, yeah. Good morning.
It is a wonderful Wednesday. Mark Fields is out in the audience, along with the lovely Juliet, Georgia Peach, and so many more. Thank you for being here on the Green Machine Live. We've got Crazy White Boy and Dr. Jill Powers, along with Ms. Picafe. Look at you guys. Corporeal being, hello, hello. Wow. My real radio voice in full effect today. I woke up with a sore throat. So we'll see how long we can go live. Thank you for the Loki raid, Stone Cold Loki. Soda Poopus Q, Burr, our favorite polar bar. You guys are doing well. We dropped a video earlier today. Go check it out. Books, check them out. All right. Ooh, look at these great people out there. There's the lovely Sherry. Good morning, dear. Hope you're doing well. We should probably play your commercial today. Canoles is in the house. Gotta get my afternoon into Juliet before I get on the road. There you go. The lovely Ruby Hoove with the generosity unmatched. A Culture Casino membership every day. Thank you, Ruby Hoove. Penny. Good morning to you, dear. I hope everything's going well. I'm wearing my G&G hat today. Look at that. CC in the house with all these great people, including Commander Ed Straker of Shadow. Happy Wednesday. Lady Gamester, hello. Hello to the lovely people. Hello to all the people, the beautiful people. That's right. Reading Rainbow. Take a look. It's in the book. Barry the Music Man saying hello to the culture crew. It's going to be a good day, right? Texas 84? I think so. Who else is out there in the world? We got more. It's not even the midnight hour. Jan Monroe, hello. And great lineup on Ron's show yesterday. Indeed, Texas 84. Thank you for the $5 Culture Casino gifty. Much appreciated in Culture Cash. That was a great lineup. I had a lot of fun. I rarely get to hang out with Ron on his show because I'm usually making material, but I'd already made my material for today, which you guys saw. The new Masters of the Universe video. I've got another one coming tomorrow. We are going to fill up the Masters of the Universe bucket. I'm just hoping the film does better than it looks. 25 to 30 million opening. That's going to be depressing. Very, very depressing indeed. Who else is out there? We got more folks. We got Barry dropping the super duper sticker. That's right. The 100 underlined twice. Not once. Twice. Emotionally unstable amphibian. Hey, y'all. Well, hello. And greetings to the Batcap. That's right. Good to see you, friend. Hope things are well in your household. Randall Orser. Hello to one of my favorite Canadians from Canada. Speaking of which, I talked about Canada. I was over on Nat and the Guy. The interview that I did a month ago finally aired. It was great. I got to demonstrate how much I enjoy Canada and Canadians. Wonderful conversation. Great editing. Nat and the Guy are top-notch human beings. You should check out their channel in both English and Spanish. They have a Spanish channel. Annie Masterson's in the house. Good morning, culture and friends. Driving to class. Well, just be safe, sir. We want you to be safe. Magically MJ. Wednesday is here. Good morning, folks. Good morning to you, Magically MJ. Look at that picture. He's in the parks. It's a happy youngster. Look at all these great people. Libby! Good morning, Libby. How you doing? Frank's here. Say hi to Frank. Andy's here, too. Otherwise known as Zombie Box Reviews. How you doing, Andy? UK is a hot mess. Yeah, it's apparently you guys let one faith carry around knives. That's not good. If you guys really are, trying to protect citizens by taking away guns, you did a poor job with the knives. Snowdub's here. Even he probably agrees with that sentiment. Good to see you, Snowdub. Cotton Council coming for real this Saturday. Cash Kester, our smoking man, has arrived. All right, folks, we got to look alive. El Bird, hello. Good morning to you. All right, folks, 6 minutes starts right about now. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, or good night, wherever you're and whenever you're watching. Thanks for checking out the 6 Minute Daily. We have a lot to talk about, not a lot of time to do it in, so let's get headed way ahead. War Machine sequel is in the works at Netflix, which means we're going to get more Richter, whatever this guy's name is. I don't know, Alan Richson. That's what it is. Anyway, he's going to be back along with more War Machine. We've got Martin Scorsese backing an AI company. I thought this guy was worried about Hollywood. I guess not. That's right. He's going to use AI to storyboard movies. We have to be open to how cinema can evolve. Yeah, you were terrible in Star Wars, Mandalorian and Grey Goose, dude. So, yeah, you might need to evolve. Dinosaur. Speaking of dinosaurs, we got Masters of the Universe. Critics are not exactly thrilled. I don't know why. Directed by Travis Knight means this should have been good. Visually, I think it looks fabulous. And the fact that we don't have to see or hear Jared Leto's real voice or his real face is very positive. Anytime we can get something different, we should be grateful. This looks like it could be good, but I'll be able to evaluate it on Thursday. You'll get that video on Friday. And tomorrow, we're just going to talk about what the prospects for this looks like after the reviews, and the review embargo has been dropped. But I'll tell you this much. Backrooms charts the best Monday. Oh, my goodness. Stupid deadline. Backrooms charts the best Monday ever for an R-rated horror picture. 7.6 million. This is telling us something, guys. The needle is shifting, and the audience is older. And the Hollywood needs to adjust and look at what things are successful and what things are not. What's not successful, apparently, is Netflix's Emily Feingold. She's out as VP of Communications after nearly 8 years. Of course, she came straight out of the finance side of things, which is why I knew who she was. She was working for one of those equity groups that buy and destroy things. So, yeah, working for Netflix starts to make some sense when you look at it through that lens, I'm sure. Let's see. This is, half of streaming users are subscribed to ad-supported plans. Yeah, you know why? Because you cost too much. I think people are actually bailing on services, including Prime today, because they backed out of making the Stargate series. I didn't even put that story in here, but you're going to start seeing these things more widely reported by myself and others that maybe streaming's not all it's cracked up to be. Let's see. White House Correspondents Association has rescheduled the Correspondents' Dinner. Trump says he's going to attend. Maybe he'll have better security this time. At least I can only hope. Moving forward, we got Masters of the Universe review from Variety saying that Gal Itzine lends some spark to the bloated nostalgia trip, meaning that this person is probably in their 20s and unlikely to have been a fan of the film or the original cartoon from the very beginning. It's a little long at 140 minutes, I have to agree. Why do you need an hour and 24 minutes for a film? I'm always going to ask that question. 1 hour, that's what you need. I'm not sure what this is. Oh, wait, Stop That Train director denies film speculated AI use. That's right, the RuPaul-led disaster movie is fully human-made and everything is controlled by humans. Adam Shankman, for whatever reason, decided that he had to come out and talk about this. I honestly don't care. I really don't anymore. Anthony Russo says no more Avenger films on the cards right now. The narrative vision is just for Secret Wars. So once we get through the next 2 Avengers movies, they're not doing anymore. Hopefully, nobody does anything anymore. Marvel's kind of dying, just like Star Wars. So why invest more money in that? Kind of weird. Weird. Speaking of weird, Versant Media invests in microdramas and a microdrama distributor in Gamma Time because, hey, it's easier for people to consume in bite-sized chunks. I think Quibi tried to do that and many other services. They just don't work very well. And Netflix and CBS dominate multi-platform ratings for 25-26, 30 million viewers for the final season of Stranger Things, along with Marshalls. NFL games were, of course, tops, but At least there's competition there. And the AP says Trump administration proposes a 25% tariff on Brazil despite extensive U.S. trade surplus. I don't think that's wildly out of line. Wall Street is inching to more records thanks to booming AI stocks. Well, that and probably Martin Scorsese and others of the dinosaur era realizing they lack creativity, so why not turn to rehash computers, which is basically what you get with AI. China's factory activity slowed in May, raising questions over its economy. Well, they always lie to us, so why would we believe them? And finally, Blue Origin explosion spared the fuel tanks and key launch pad parts. It's still going to cost them $1 billion in a year to rebuild what needs to be built after what looked like an explosion, the likes of which we haven't seen in this age since probably World War II. Finally, our bear story of the day. A bear rampages through 2 factories in a residential area in Japan, injuring 4 people. And police, media, this bear just went nuts. A record 13 people were killed in Japan last year by bears. They are really not bear aware, but you should be. That's why we have a daily bear story. And that is 6 minutes, folks. 6 minutes of news. And now, probably 20, 25 minutes of just me ranting. Does that sound fun? Are you hip to that? Good question. But I'm glad you're here. Bonus time today, everyone. Hope you're excited. I know I am. I could not be more excited if there were 2 of me, especially since I get to talk about the silliest humans on the planet during bonus time. One of those being Jimmy Kimmel. We're going to talk about him. We're going to talk about Bill Owens, the former boss over at 60 Minutes. We're going to do a lot of other things, including saying hi to the famous D. Bud Martin. Good morning, my friends. Good morning. We got William King out there. Hey, Culture. Hello. Look at these great peoples. I love it. Martin. No, not Martin. Walter Tomaszewski's in the house. I have scissors because guess what? Walter sent me a thing. I'm going to open the thing. I have to open the thing. Thank you, Walter, once again for your kindness. We always try to open things live if we can. I'm using skizzers right now. These are skizzers. So, all right. What we got? Love is what we got. I got a Ziploc bag. Let's see. Hope you can use these items. Well, let's take a look. Is this okay, Walter? Am I doing this right? I'm sure this was probably timed to get me through things, but let's see. Yeah, these were what you were referring to. These are amazing. I love that. The zip ties. I've been using zip ties like crazy outside in the garden. These are perfect, and some of them are crazy long. Oh, hook and loop, self gripping. Love that. This is what you were talking about the other day. I was like, okay. Let's see. We got. Look at all this. You are quite the engineer, my friend. My goodness gracious, you guys. Yeah, I'm going to be using all of this. Holy cow. I love wire control. You guys, if you know me, I have a lot of wires around here. I need wire control. Holy cow. Walter, you had so much stuff. This is crazy. These are stand clips. So again, this is cable management at its finest. Secure cable ties, guys. This is wild. Webbed ties. Holy cow. Thank you, Walter. You are a generous person. You are. I much appreciate all of this. I will employ it, especially in the studio, the portable studio pack that I'm going to have to carry with me forever going forward. So thank you, Walter. I'm going to hang on to your address if that's okay with you. And I thank you once again for your generosity, my friend. So, Casino is like Samson, but with his beard. Well, there you go. Yeah, actually, I've got to cut this. It's got to somehow the beard returned. I don't know how. Wild stuff. Jonathan Conroy back in the audience. Good to see you, friend. Thank you for punching that like button and making sure you're subscribed still. Much appreciated. Um, we got Yoshi Rio in the house. Good to see you, friend. Uh, I say Yoshi, but it's Hoshi. Hey, Crouching Taylor hitting Swifty. That's Matt G. Everybody say hi to Matt G. Good morning, Matt. Carl's in the house. Great Wednesday morning to all, and to you most especially, Carl. I hope you're doing well. Look at these great humans. We are so blessed. Zombies like the UK blues. Mags London in the house. Good to see you, Mags. Scary movie review this week. Yeah, I'll get to it. I think that's going to be my Sunday outing. So, yeah. Did you habla any Espanol? Occasionally. Occasionally I have to habla. Speak it of Spanish. Boag in the house. Hollywood will not change. They will double down again. What we see it now is indie creators coming up, just like when the old ones rose during the 70s. Indeed. Look, this is supposed to happen every 2 decades. Every 20 years, we're supposed to get a resurgence and a reignition of Hollywood. The indie guys come in. Believe it or not, George Lucas was an indie guy. We got Star Wars. It was kind of a fluke. He'd done a previous film that people were interested in. He was always interested in the technological side of Hollywood, which is why we got all the beautiful pieces he put together. Um, including even a video game platform, LucasArts. But yeah, so Skywalker Sound, all that came out of George's love for the technology of making movies. And his pals were Spielberg and a couple other people you may have heard of. But that generation of Hollywood came up and never got replaced. So there you go. The Council is back every Saturday night. And I might be there on Saturday. We'll see if I can stay up. I'm getting tired early, guys. My clock got shifted substantially while I was on my road trip out east. Y'all have weird timing on things. It's very early. Yeah, I think he's aged out of playing a young soldier. I think he may age out of playing Reacher, to be fair. Um, when I look at the reason I said Hollywood's being forced to change in today's thumbnail, they are being. I mean, even Scorsese, being a fictional CGI character and then talking about AI to storyboard. Guys, that's more than just storyboarding. It's in I mean, that's where the story came from or used to come from. What are the storyboards? It's essentially how you present, an idea to a room. And Walt Disney was famous for that. He would work with storyboard artists and be able to tell the intricate story and backstory for all of the animated films he came up with, and eventually live action as well. In fact, Disneyland was storyboarded. Everything about it from beginning to end it's designed like a story. It is. Disneyland is a set. It's you walk onto Main Street. You are on stage. The cast is called cast members. They're not called employees. And those folks, the cast, are told from the very beginning once they step on stage from backstage, which is where the back of the house stuff is. Um, they're part of the show. So are you as a guest. You're part of the show as well. So yeah, by having the enthusiasm of being a cast member, you know, and that's how they were able to maintain appearance standards. They were hiring cast, which means they could tell you what you had to wear as your costume while you were on stage. So it was all done deliberately. The facades, as Mr. Hart might say, but they're actually facades. The facades of the buildings are purposely done and divided in precise ways so that one side of a facade, when presented from one angle, is the Victorian era construction of Main Street. And when you turn the corner, the very same building that has a different facade now has a facade of, let's say, Frontierland or something different. These things were all purposely designed. The wheel, the spoke and wheel, the hub at the center, everything there was designed to convey the idea of being in different locales, different points in time, and different times in America, from the Main Street age to a turn of the century, at the turn of the last century, when you got into the early colonial times, and things like that. Frontierland gave you a good feeling of Davy Crockett, king of the wild frontier. Um, but yeah, so Hollywood is always in need of a change. So there's that. We got our friend Irate Specialist out there with a $2 super duper chat to say, "Hail Culture Casino and Cultureinos," or Casino Renos. Okay, fair enough. I've seen the clips and it looks so much fun. And that's how I looked at it. I'm like, this is going to be a fun film. There's going to be a lot of silliness. If you appreciated, let's say, Flash Gordon, Flash, whoa, that's kind of that's what I felt, right? So I'm kind of looking forward to it. The silliness, the finger pointing they do at the ridiculous HR department, where Prince Adam works as a young man before he was returned to Eternia. That looks like it's going to be funny to poke fun at the woke garbage. So I don't know. I'm a little more optimistic, but I do think that Hollywood has to change. And I'm seeing reflections of that. Again, 5 years ago, Martin Scorsese would not be entertaining the idea of using AI. And yet here we are. He's more than entertaining it, he's investing in it. And that says a lot. Also, we're seeing people call BS on the latest election in Hollywood land. And people are like, well, the cheat's going to be set up. And that's a lot of reporting out there. Even I think Fox participated in that conversation. So using an authoritative news source here on YouTube, I can talk about, um, just some of the statements that were made by the people that they interviewed on the street, people that they talked to, people that were part of panels. It's not good when the world is pointing out that the emperor has no clothes. That's bad. He-Man is 40 years too late. Well, I think maybe. I don't know. Again, I'm kind of chuckling inside because I know my generation, we're the last of the people that have money. That's not going to sound good. But disposable income is hard to come by right now. We don't have the blazing or roaring economy that we should. We have artificially high fuel prices, which makes everything more expensive. Um, I'm not certain why the administration isn't focused in on looking into what the oil companies are doing, since most of the supply, if not all of the supply in the United States, is, well, locally sourced. That's right. We're pumping our own fuel. So why is it so much more expensive? Well, in California, it's obviously the taxes and everything else, but that's different. We have a restaurant named Gary Goose, best burgers in town. I had in the Hot Atlanta airport, I had an incredible burger at Bobby's Burger Place. That's what it's called. I was like, Bob's Burgers? But not really. Barbecue burgers. Very good stuff. Uh, Barry says goodbye. I hope not. He-Man doesn't look like He-Man, says Jan Monroe. I don't know. I'm going to do another video. Like I said, I've got another video in me because I have new numbers that are scaring me. Jordan Remy has a new article over on World of Real I want to talk about. So that'll be a video I put together today. I might put together 2 or 3 for tomorrow. We'll see. Real Wade Nation in the house. Check out Real Wade's gaming channel. Hope things are going well, friend. Looks like it, like they are, but there's that. Did you see why Amazon backed out? It was too appealing to Stargate fans. Probably not enough DEI. Yeah. Yeah, they were returning the original writers, as a matter of fact. I'm watching people like Undoomed cancel their Amazon Prime. Will I do that? I don't know. I don't know. AVA pop culture. You have to ask why they put male actors in loincloths and cartoon correct costumes, but not the female characters who they went out of their way to cover up, targeting the wrong audiences. You know what? That's 1,000% correct. 1,000. 1,000. Remember when movies were 90 minutes? I do. 96 minutes was the sweet spot. 6 minutes of credits, 2 minutes on the front, 4 minutes on the end. Everything in between was what was supposed to be seen. Storytelling was done within the frame, and it was done visually more so than telling the audience what they should be seeing. Yeah, I think they're going to get rid of Lula. I think that's probably why that 25% tariff was floated. I think it was really funny that the Supreme Court just gave Trump another avenue when it came to tariffs. I think not allowing the president to control the way we do trade is pretty ridiculous since it's been done that way forever. Trump just was leveraging the opportunity to make this country have more money. Where are my chips? Right here. Right here. Had you shown up, you would have got them. I was told you were going to be there, Mike. You were not there. I even dragged out of storage one of my special physical keychains and one of the rare, hard to find stickers that I produced very early on. I'll still bring them with me. I'm going to be in South Carolina in a few weeks, so I'm not frustrated at all. Rogue Thinker, good to see you. I'm way behind. I'm 15 minutes behind on this stuff. Oh, shots fired. Not really. I love Mike. Mike's one of my favorite people. John's in the house. He missed yesterday's show. Didn't get a notification. Guys, you got to turn on all notifications, and even that, you can't trust it. The tube's actively working against great creators right now, including Loki. Kind of a bummer. Dean Krantz says, I have Prime, but that is to save money on shipping. I rarely watch anything. Yeah, I'm a YouTube guy all the way around. Black, yeah. 25's in the house. I just got Amazon Prime again. Well, you're not going to want it. There's no Stargate. They canceled. But yeah, you do have to ask why they cover up the wrong stuff. AVA pop culture. I think you're correct. They're targeting the wrong audiences. The He-Man's not a female property. They really did try to do that. They feminized the Smith, the Kevin Smith garbage. He's a piece of trash now. He's not worth paying attention to. He had a near miss on a heart attack, and he became a vegan whack job. So yeah, and the argument that things are too old. Michael Jackson's a long, long time ago, and yet um, it made a ton of money. So I'm not going to buy the idea that the material's old or it's too late. I appreciate the perspective from somebody like Snowdub and really does know what he's talking about. But again, I'm the right age group for this. I don't know about you. Snow, you're a little younger than me. Maybe Mikey still loves He-Man. Uh, Tom was the person that surprised me that was kind of negative here. I don't think that's it. I refuse to believe movies are dead. Um, I don't want people taking the black pill on that. You know, you should be taking the white pill when things like Project Hail Mary, um, Super Mario Galaxy, other things like that, um, you know, are doing well. Bogue says, I still don't understand why they sent it all to China when they could have just helped clean up the cartels in Mexico instead of funding them. Yeah, well, we've always gone about the quote unquote war on drugs the wrong way. that's a whole other conversation. I tell you what, when I start doing the "Thank you for your attention to this matter" show, which I was thinking about starting again on Friday or Saturday, um, I mean, then that would be the appropriate place to talk about that. But I am having a high roller stream this weekend, so if you're a high roller, pay attention. That includes you, Mikey. Um, the trip was fantastic, for those of you wondering, like John. It just kept me away from you guys, which bummed me out. I'm not positive about he, him. I actually thought that was a clever shot on the woke. But again, a lot of people took it the wrong way. But flat out, I got you. I got you. You're not positive about it. That's okay. I will. I'm gonna look. I'm gonna go see it. I see things so you don't have to. That's my job. My job is to tell you whether or not something is worth spending money on. I'm more of a consumer advocate than I have anything else. Um, so there's that. There's that. And I did drop a video this morning talking about a great premise that Marvin came up with about He-Man. I dropped that video. You should watch it. Watch it beginning to end. Let me know what you think. But should we be worried that Rotten Tomatoes is in the 70s? Is that something that is Hollywood's like thinking that the film is woke? Because really, they only give positive reviews to stuff where they really are invested in the messaging garbage or they're really invested in the person who put it together or the people that back them. Again, they're access media, guys. We can't pretend they are not influenced by the fact that they're wined and dined and perhaps other things. I can't say. In order to get positive sentiment and get that out there publicly. Because nobody trusts anybody anymore. You can't trust PMC Media Group, which owns all three of the major Hollywood trade magazines. The only one they don't own is The Wrap, and what's her name that owns that? Waxman, I think Sharon Waxman. She is a she's a piece of work. She is a woke piece of work, and all of that because her mom didn't get the jab. That's what I think. Didn't buy into the stuff. I feel like He-Man is a boomer cartoon. Not quite. Again, as somebody that falls within the generation after the boomers, that'd be Gen X kids. No, no. Our friend Archer Merchant for two Culture Casino Cash says, we'll still watch He-Man this week, but cautiously. Yeah, that's what I'll be doing too. Again, I'm seeing it Thursday. I was going to try to get to the Wednesday sneak, but things got in the way. So I have too much to do today, and I have a very late show with Lou and you, the Hollywood Backlot Tour, where we are going to talk about four stories as we usually do. In the 1 hour, we follow up the WDW Pro Show this evening, so that'll be fun. Lou and I are usually having a good time on that show. I am going to ask him some questions because he's the right guy to ask about some things that are going on in the world of Hollywood specifically. So yeah, but I think a lot of people are going to be cautious approaching this. Did you check out some land in Tennessee? Yes, I did, Zen Wookie. I found 14, 15 acres for a reasonable price, around $300,000, with water on the property. I'm going to keep looking. I can find slightly less expensive land in a place where internet is insanely fast, 2 gigabits per second. Um, it's exactly what I need, especially if I'm going to start building a studio complex on the same land, which is the plan. Tennessee is one of the great places to move for many reasons, one of them being a cottage industry uh, allowance for obviously my farm products, which I'll be grown on the land as well. Um, to me, everything's about what the advantages are of living somewhere. And Tennessee has more advantages than disadvantages, including wonderful outdoors opportunities, sports, and such. I went whitewater rafting while I was there, and there's actual video of that that I'll be putting out later, probably next week. So Blackio was born in '91. Um, yeah, yeah, you are. You're outside of that the two generation windows separated. So there's that. Did you? Oh wait, did you just said to not trust you? Don't trust Culture Casino. In culture we trust, Jaffo. Come on now, come on. When it comes to financial advice, don't trust any YouTuber. Don't trust Jim Cramer, especially when you look at the reverse Cramer. I love Mikey. I miss Mikey. I miss Mikey. I haven't seen Mikey in a long time. Dean Krantz, time to get some stuff done. I hope you're doing well, friend. Thank you for being here every day, everywhere. I see you all the time. MJ's Spotify time is top of the charts. That's right. That's so right. Our good friend again, Archer Merchant, pops another $5 in Culture Casino cash to say, if Doomsday bombs, I feel they need to clear Lucasfilm and Marvel execs, HR and writing rooms, and Walden too. I agree too. I think leadership from the top down at Disney has been the problem, and their hiring practices have been the problem. They were being investigated by the DOJ for illegally hiring, promoting, and paying people based on the color of their skin, which is illegal like nobody's business. So, yeah, no bueno. We got another super duper chat from our friend from the UK. So, this is £5 sterling. That's proper money, everyone. Saying, I love the fact it's fully leaning into the campiness, just like the cartoons. Me too. Remember, He Man, about 50% of them had a moral lesson, and you're gonna hear me, if you watch the interview that I did with our Canadian friends, Nat and the guy, which you should be checking out. That interview, it dropped yesterday afternoon, evening. I was there for the premiere. um Moral lessons aren't bad. He-Man had those. GI Joe had those. A lot of the cartoons from that era did. It worked out well. Yeah, I might see it just for the soundtrack. I think the soundtrack's going to be brilliant. Very excited about that. I did not watch He-Man. Okay, fair enough. You can't fossilize things, but you can't discard history either. There has to be a happy medium. I agree. I never told anyone I was going to Tennessee. I told no one that. Okay. My information was incorrect, but I'm betting you're going to be in South Carolina when I'm there. I think that's in 5 weeks or something. I don't know. I have to travel, and then I have to actually come back through um, Tennessee so I can actually buy the land. So yeah, Kane Pixels is a fantastic. I am unfamiliar. I did not like Project Hail Mary. Oh, you were bored. I'm sorry about that. I loved it. AVA Pop Culture says, I'm still going to see it, and I also refuse to say movies are dead. Um, good. I keep hope. Hail Mary and indie horror films, there have been great ones. This last 2 years has been like indie horror, like amazing recovery. It was fantastic. Um, yeah. So you take a look at back rooms and Obsession, Scream 6 or 7 or whatever it was. Take a look at that. Scary Movie 6 is coming out in just a few weeks, or maybe it's this weekend. I think it's this weekend. So I'm gonna have to see a couple 3 movies, guys. That's terrible. Oh no. What will I do? There's a bunch of YouTube creators that are overlooked. I agree. My friend Loki is overlooked. My friend Snowdub is overlooked. They shouldn't be. They should have as many, if not more, subscribers than I do. We should all be trying to race to 50K right now. You know, I really do feel suppressed. I don't know about you guys. Jan Monroe has very strong ideas exactly how He-Man is supposed to look and how they're supposed to act, mainly because my kid was 4 years old at the time and he was in love. It was amazing. My younger siblings really loved that show. I enjoyed it. I was an older person watching that show, loving it. JPRPH1, howdy, folks. Howdy. What's going on? Sorry, you guys. I know I'm 10 minutes behind, but it's because I like to talk to y'all. Double back again in the house. Low tomato score is good. Yeah, usually high tomato score is usually cause for concern, which is what today's video is about. John says, I have to catch the bus. I'll watch later. So busy. Well, just be safe, friend. And I'm sorry I missed you yesterday. I really, truly am. Who else is in the house? We got more folks here. Davina's here. Good morning, Davina. Hope you're doing well. It's a Gen X cartoon along with RoboCop. True story. Not a boomer. I'm late Gen X. He-Man is our thing. It is truly. I'm a boomer. Culture is Gen X, and it's fine. We get along just fine. We were the generation that were raised by boomers, and it shows. We have independence, and not in that strong independent whammon way. Actual independence, like go out and play all day in 100-degree weather and drink out of the hose, the garden hose in the front yard. That kind of independence. Like rub some dirt on it if you get hurt. Like ride your bike home from school with appendicitis. You know anybody that did that? Now you do. This guy with two thumbs and a mom who didn't understand that it was quite serious how much pain I was in. But I rode my BMX bike about 3/4 of a mile to get back to the house where she came and picked me up and promptly took me to the doctor, only to discover that on the heel test, I passed out. And I definitely had a nearly bursting appendix. Not bright. So, yeah, wasn't faking it. Shattered both my clavicles in high school. Wasn't faking that either. Got told to shut up by a parental figure because I was maybe risking a helicopter ride if I didn't. Um, yeah. So I'm just gonna say this: Gen X is pretty tough. Thank you, AVA Pop Culture. Everybody, make sure to hit the like button. Getting the 100 likes helps streams 1000%. There are over 100 of you in the audience across platforms, so please help. The caveat ties is like culture's old. True story. We can be independent together. That's right. Independence. Texas says Georgia needs to reduce taxes. We're working on it. I would have loved to be in Georgia because there is a production hub there, but Nashville isn't going to be terribly far away from where I'm going to be. I don't mind driving 2 hours. And again, I'm going to have in-house studios that people can produce music in as well. This I'm not going to go easy on this stuff, guys. It's going to be slowly built. It will take a few years. I'll be in my 60s before we reach um, the fully developed land and opportunities on said land, including the studios and the soundstage and everything else. But it will be there. There will be guest quarters and guest houses. Um, Trying to get family into the guest houses, but and there's going to be outbuildings and animals, and it'll be a self-sustaining location. That's what you do. Holy cow, WJB Daily is in the house. What is up? Good morning, Culture Crew. Good morning to you, WJB Daily. Amazing. My first job was at 11. I started about 14, 15. Worked survey crew for a civil engineering firm. My family wanted me to be a civil engineer to take over the company. Um, I learned valuable lessons. I learned how to survey. I learned how to do cut and fills for golf courses. and other projects. Learned why and how to do drainage. I learned a lot of things at 14 years old. By 15, 16, around 16, I got the job at the supply company, which made it. And again, that's family owned business, and essentially converted them from old timey paper pen kind of things in inventory to digital. I converted them to digital, moved them over to spreadsheets and things like that. So started to build out a database before I left. So how do I grow onions? Depends on the kinds of onions. If you have shoots starting, you're already on your way. Put them in a container suitable for their size. You can row them if you're into crop rows. Give them sufficient space so that the globe develops and they have the resources necessary. Consider that since it's a taproot plant primarily, it's going to need more of the available fertilizer or high quality soil below rather than to the sides, unlike potatoes. Potatoes send out runners horizontally as well as down. Usually, potatoes grow on a plane, whereas fruits like row crops usually grow only vertical up and down. So just consider that. Zombie Box is right, though. This was a brilliant super chat a minute ago. Life's Wells. Life Wells in the house says hi. Hello. Welcome. Yeah, we Gen Xers are a complete different breed. We are. It's funny. Every once in a while, I'll come across a short where somebody's talking about Gen X. Like, they either know what they're talking about or they really don't. Ah, let's see who else is out there in the world. Lots of great people. We are blessed with wonderful humans. Indie horror is proof that storytelling scripts can still be creative indeed. Yeah. Look, I work with a group of people every single day, whether it be Loki, Snowdub, or any of the wonderful people I got to hang out with over the course of the last week. And I can tell you, they know how to write scripts, they know how to tell stories, they know how to plan out their video. They know, I know a lot of them don't really know how to put together a shot list, but I think they would figure it out pretty darn quick. Storyboarding an idea is not new. You can do it with stick figures. You don't have to be a great artist. So it is what it is. So, some people are like, I think I'm a millennial. Well, there you go. I'm a Gen Xer, 1966. Yeah. Gen X started in 65. And again, we used to do our generations differently. Now they're cheating. So, speaking of cheating, Steve Hilton leads in California governor's race. Final results in 2 weeks. LOL. Yeah. Well, you got to get all those mail-in ballots in, right? I think we need to have some very well-defined structural rules to voting, especially in California. I think you are trapped in communism, and I'm sorry. Astrophage, my friend. You don't obey the physics. Poor education makes you seem cool. Huh. Astrophage. Wasn't that what they were using to propel the Project Hail Mary spaceship? Could be wrong. Scott Paley of 60 Minutes has been fired. Yeah, well, good. You know what? The old boss there, Bill Owens, made a huge stink. So, yeah, am I surprised that Paley's gone? No, he's a terrible person. I talked about him yesterday. He's a terrible, awful human. When you break ground in Tennessee, be alert to fossils in the sedimentary rock. Imprints of trilogy tests are not unusual. Well, there you go. I'll be looking for that, Tom. Yeah, actually, I did a lot of research in the area that I'm looking to establish um my structures. And believe it or not, Tennessee is one of the locations where they allow you to use a rubble footing to put your pads down and your stem walls and such. And that's what I'm going to do because of the enormous amount of rain that you get. And yeah, And then I'm gonna visit with the local Mennonite slash Amish folks and see if they can build all my outbuildings. So I'm gonna be a little bit aggressive about some of this stuff. Lady Gamester says, I pretty much made supper. I love food. A slaughterhouse? Well, I'm gonna have animals. Things will be cared for. There'll be proper stewardship, and occasionally things will be eaten. So there's that. Guest quarters, yeah. Honestly, and again, I mean, I'm going to invite people to utilize the studio space. I'm building it for a reason. There'll be small fees associated with it, much less than what you would have to pay in a studio in Nashville or anywhere else. It'll be there basically to be it's the same thing I'm doing with the channel, right? I'm looking for 1,000 members for the channel. I'm looking for subscribers of 50K or more. And if I have 1,000 members that are regulars that are willingly subscribing to the channel or being members of the channel, that's all that's required. In fact, I've got an accountant or two in the chat that can talk about that. But at 1,000, this basically pays for itself. It no longer is no it no it goes to revenue neutral instead of being something I have to kick out money out of my own pocket. It's why I have a business credit card just for this channel. It pays for the streaming services and Canva and everything else that I use to make content for you guys. So, Ava AVA Pop Culture says, Georgia born and raised, been making movies um, here a long time and just hoping we stay the right course here, or I'll be headed to Tennessee or Florida. Well, you know what? You're more than welcome. There's a lot of us that are going to be in about 5 states. There's about 5 states that we're all going to flood into. So it's good to see so many people here this morning. Thank you for being here. Um, will you be looking at the culture files in 20 years? I hope so. I hope you're looking at them. I hope I'm able to give you enough information. I'm betting on YT stability. That and any other video platform, to be fair. I mean, that's one of the reasons why I'm not an eggs in all one basket guy. It's why I'm on Green Machine and live on X right now. It's why I'm looking at Kick and other places because I honestly think that under current leadership, um, the tube is going to encounter some headwinds I don't think they're prepared for. So, TZ Burton, hello. How you doing, friend? Good to see you. It's been a minute. Been a minute. But I'm one of those people that think you need to keep all your options open. And I'm even considering self distribution, which means forming an actual Roku channel. So people on Roku um, or with the Roku app can actually have the Culture Casino material. I'm going to go and provide everything over there. But that requires a Vimeo account, to be fair, and the ability to embed content, and that takes that's a few steps. So one day I'll have somebody else do that. That's the other thing. If I get to 1,000 members of the channel, that makes it so that I can employ somebody, and that's a good thing. Also, when I get to my final destination in Tennessee, um, I'm going to be employing a lot of people. Obviously, we're going to have greenhouse workers and stuff like that eventually. Yep, self-distribution. Aha. Yep. Yeah. Canola says, "Yes, I can catch the end of live." Speaking of which, the end of live. Well, you know what? This is a story. Look, you guys are so engaging today, but I wanna engage you with this. This is a Jimmy Kimmel story. This is coming out of that Park Place. Our friend Trevor is writing like a maniac right now. He's working hard. Um, Kimmel admits Disney's only guidance after expectant widow joke was to respond and move on. So Disney's doing nothing to center this man. They're totally fine with being him being an unhinged lunatic. They're totally fine with it. Jimmy Kimmel is shedding new light on how Disney handled one of his most recent controversies. This guy is a controversy machine. It's the only way he can get attention. He's not funny. He's not relevant. So, shortly before the White House Correspondents' Dinner and all the events that took place there, Kimmel joked on his late night show about how First Lady Melania Trump looked like an expectant widow. It was not funny. The comedian faced intense backlash after another attempt on the president's life was made at that particular event. The First Lady herself took to social media accusing Kimmel of spreading hate and adding, well, yeah, I mean, that's his job, right? To carry the narrative load, to help add to, well, the single thing that they do. And she's right. She says enough is enough. It is time for ABC to take a stand, which I agree with fully. According to Kimmel, the Disney owned network took a much milder approach. Of course they did. They have terrible leadership. Dana Walden is a plague on this earth. Her political thought processes are uncompromised by the things that they need to be compromised by, which is money. She is not making Disney money. She's actively running away from it. So is Josh. Josh is no better, guys. Josh, unfortunately, is just continuing the same path that Iger established and not shoving Iger fully out the door, much to his detriment. And if Dana becomes in charge of the Disney company, you could write it off forever, honestly. And notably, the expectant widow joke was not the first time Kimmel had faced backlash in recent months. Even, it post Charlie's elimination, the unfortunate and untimely death of a person that I thought probably could be president one day. Um, he made not just misleading, but outright lie comments about the alleged killer and one of his monologues when all the evidence to the contrary was out there in the world for everybody to see, even on ABC's own news division, despite their mealy mouthed reporting and people involved in that. So, according to Entertainment Weekly, Kimmel recently sat down with Vulture. Well, there's a reputable, not at all, outlet to reflect on his career. What career? You mean the Man Show with Adam Carolla, who's actually funny and pretty intelligent? He still tries to maintain a friendly relationship with this knucklehead. Mm. Anyway, during the interview, he reportedly said that he should not be pressured to address issues he does not believe are wrong. What a douche. One of these things we talked about when I first got suspended was that I can't do the show if I'm going to be micromanaged. Dude, you're lucky you're still there. You're lucky Colbert was retired, forced into retirement to have actual comedy on CBS. Any other reporting is a lie. They forced Colbert out of that chair and they bought for $15 million, or excuse me, sold the spot for $15 million to Byron Allen and his Comics Unleashed show, which then he paid for time to have another show on just after that, giving people something funny at night rather than this knucklehead. So a lot of people in the industry came out to support Kimmel. Well, there's not very many people in that industry. And the ones that are in the industry still are politically compromised, and that includes Conan O'Boring. So, in response to the fallout of this expected widow joke, Kimmel said Disney simply told him to respond and move on. So, don't do anything. Dana Walden's not good, guys. If that's the response there, I'm really disappointed in the owners of the franchises, the affiliates, the affiliate networks that they're being put together. Tegna, which is being bought out by I think Sinclair. But there's a lot of what is happening exactly. Why such a strong stance the first time around, and why not? When somebody really did try to remove the president from the earth. I'm getting tired of this, guys. I think you are too. Disney appears to be standing by Kimmel for now. Well, of course they are. Dana Walton is a piece of garbage. So the company said, respond and move on. You can basically take that to the bank that was almost verbatim what Dana Walton said, or maybe legal under Dana Walton said. And the decision is unlikely to satisfy critics who viewed the joke as a crossing of the line. Yeah, I'm not satisfied. But then again, I'm not Kimmel's demographic or audience. Nobody is. So there you go. And wherever you go, there you are. So there you go. We got some real bonus time in there. Maverick's in the house. A good warrior. She's not a Christian. Marguerite Perrin hates Miley Alcock's Supergirl. Well, I'm not a fan of Miley Alcock's um, Supergirl either. He needs to move on to Hulu. Well, Canoles, I'm going to say it this way. Why poison Hulu? Honestly, Fox has very little left of value that was associated directly with them. Hulu would have been one of those things. Disney knew Disney Minus was going to be a failure. There was little to offer. They devalued all their IP to put TV shows in places of films that should have been out in theaters. And yeah, thank you, JPRPH1. Have a safe day at work and be safe. Commander Ed Straker of Shadow said, it's jammy kibbles. There you go. Zombie Andy says, I'll catch you later, Culture. All right, friends. 11 Alpha says, greetings. Greetings to all. All right. ABC has taken a stand years ago. In fact, they agree with the leftist ideology and hatred towards the ideological enemies. You are 100% correct, corporeal being over on the green machine. Uh, I need more emojis. I do. That's true. I need to come across more opportunities to make them. So I take responsibility for that. I do. It's okay. Anyway, so I've got another Masters of the Universe video coming out for you tomorrow. And then on Friday morning, you can look forward to my review of the Masters of the Universe movie and my thoughts on it, whether or not it's worth your time or money or both or either. So there's that. I need to make breakfast. Why is Stargate canceled? That's a great question because it was going to be good. They brought back all the writers from these series that people enjoyed, and I don't think it was going to be DEI enough for them, which is odd, but it is what it is. And with that, I'm just going to say this: you guys are wonderful. Thank you so much. Do be sure to find your way to the WDW Pro Show tonight. And check out Midnight's Edge in the morning, which is on, I think, in about 12, 15 minutes. So we also have, I think, That Park Place coming up in about 12 to 15 minutes. So you can split your time, decide which you would like to go to. I am not redirecting anyone today other than myself to a griddle to make my breakfast. On that note, be sure to take care of yourself, take care of others, and until next time, enjoy Sherry's Slam and Clam.
Are you tired of the same old buffet food at Wang's? Have you had enough dong to last you a lifetime? Well, take just a few more steps past those single-minded restaurants and dive into Sherry's Slam and Clam. Sherry's Slam and Clam Shellfish Bar is truly all you can eat, unlike the 2-shrimp limit that stingy bastard Wang has. In a hurry, let Sherry stuff your box. To go! Be shellfish and take all you want from Sherry's Slam and Clam. Located next to the 3rd Street Bolorama, Sherry's is open 6 days a week. If you are looking to slam clam, get to Sherry's today.